hired Bobby Evans. Bobby, welcome aboard.
Bobby.
So we're excited to have you. That wasn't exactly the best warm welcome.
I've had less.
We should do this round of applause though that Rich has recovered all that data that got quarantined.
Good job, Rich.
Let's not get off that just yet though. Listen, that happened because somebody in this office opened up an email attachment that really shouldn't have been opened. It's not a blame thing, right? We get a lot of stuff that comes in, we don't know exactly. Could it be a driver who filled out a credit application and stopped at a truck stop and sent it? We don't know where it's coming from, okay? So Rich is going to be doing a little bit of group training this week to help us understand what gets opened, what doesn't get opened. But here's where it begins to get really important. You have to understand the importance of standardization. So if we have a standardized signature line and you go in and change it because you want it to be something different, well then guess what? We've just lost the standardization. So you don't know that if an email comes in and the signature line for Caden looks different than what it should be, you can't trust that that's different. You need to understand the importance of the standardization, okay? Because the issue here is human error is the greatest firewall or the weakest firewall. Again, it's not a blame issue, it happens. But just so everybody understands what happened, that email opened up a virus. So because it was an attachment, it immediately bypassed the firewall. There was a breach at Microsoft 365, which sort of opened up this window for the virus to get into 365 accounts. We opened it, it goes through the network, finds basically the weakest link, which is what? The road grit videos, thousands and thousands and thousands of hours, multiple terabytes worth of videos, and it encrypts the entire thing and locks them down. Then Rich gets an email from the guys that say, hey, we're holding your files ransom. And you're going to pay us basically $800 and some odd, and we're going to give you the encryption code. Well, it turns out that this has been going on for what, 3 weeks now? They've gotten hospitals, they've gotten police departments, and guess what people are doing? They're paying. The hospital has to get patient records back. The police department has to get criminal files back, right? So we had to go to the bank, get $900 cash. Rich had to go to one of the Bitcoin ATMs, put the 900 in, convert the cash to Bitcoin, transfer the money to these guys, and we sat there like this hoping that the encryption code would come, and it did. And we bought our files back for $900. But if you're a hospital...
That's been going on for years, man. There was this huge hospital where they paid out millions of dollars, right?
But here's the hook. Under $2,000, the FBI won't prosecute. So that's why these things are coming in at $1,400 and $700, right? Because they know that you're going to get it back. But look, Rocky and I went with this other couple to the fireworks last night. I'm telling the guy the story in the car, and he's like, I'm not trying to one-up you, but I'm going to one-up you. My parents got a call this week in Florida from a guy who said, I have your son Jason, I'm holding him, I have a gun to his head. If you call anyone, I will kill him, and you're going to send me $2,000. And the guy's dad sent this guy $2,000 via Western Union, and then he called Jason, and Jason was out by the pool.
Yeah, that's actually big now.
I'm going to go one step further just to put the explanation on that point of how the world's changing so freaking fast. I needed money on Saturday. Right? Rocker had me out getting some furniture. I needed some money. I go to the Capital One branch right by my house, the one I go to all the time, right to the drive-thru, closed up, says drive-thru's closed. Must go through the lobby. All right? I go through the lobby, I walk in, how can I help you? Here to get some money. There's the ATM machine. I said, I don't use an ATM card, I never have. You can't get money out of this branch. I said, what are you talking about? He says, we no longer, this is a tellerless branch. We no longer give you money here. I said, no, listen. I need money. Like it's 10 to 1. I need my money. You cannot do a withdrawal here, sir. You'll have to go to Hollyville. Ransom. The guy's held. The guy gets called. Parents get a call that he's being held for ransom. Our files get held for ransom, and I go to my bank that I go to all the time, and I can't get money out. I'm telling y'all, you don't know what's coming. Be prepared at all times.
Buy more ammo. That's why I keep cash.
All right.
Zombie apocalypse is just around the corner.
Get legs like those glasses.
Let's see what this crazy guy's got to say, boy.
Oh, he's crazy.
This guy's tough, man.
Can win on little things, and we'll be talking with you about little things as long as you're here. On little things and a little something extra. Now let's just suppose that we say that the maximum ability one can have is 100. That's the way we'll approach it. And let's say here I am, someone that really only has, based on that 100, a 75% or 75 ability. And here over here is someone that has 85 that I'm going to play against. Now, it takes everyone, but this is just for you as an individual. Now, on Saturday, by virtue of the fact that you have paid the price, you've learned those lessons, you work on the little things, you are willing to give a little extra. Although you only have 75% ability, you play a little over your head, and we expect you to. Okay, you play, and you'll be an 85 player that day. Now, here's another man over here that's playing against you. Now, this could happen. It don't always happen. That maybe he hasn't played the prize. Maybe he hasn't learned those lessons. Maybe he's not as dedicated as you are. And he doesn't play as well as he's supposed to play. And he falls off 10%, or he falls off 10. He only plays 75. And that's just to illustrate my point. Then you, because of your preparation and the things I'm trying to get across to you, you can beat him because you paid 85. And if we do that as a team, 11 at a time, well, 4 years from now, why, you'll be walking out of here as a national champion. And I'll tell you this, I expect nothing less.
What? Anybody with some takeaways on that one? Because I got a couple things that I take away from when I watch that. Anybody with a?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you feel like you're doing, as long as you push yourself, you could be as good as the better guy
On a bad day.
on a bad day.
Hey, that's like the saying, and maybe some of y'all heard me say, hard work beats talent when talent isn't working hard.
Yep.
That's it.
The thing that I take away on that, because I like that one so much, I ended up watching like 20 Bear Bryant videos yesterday, and there's a whole thing of players, old players that record these little short snippets. I guess they had a reunion or something, and they're all telling Bear Bryant stories. And two that jump out at me. One, they said they were doing 2-a-days in the Alabama heat, and 10 people passed out at the practice, and they all had to be taken off and put on IV, the whole bit. And he shows up for practice yesterday. He says, "See, we all learned something yesterday. That the body will pass out before you die." But the other thing they said was, what most people didn't understand was those little nuances. Because in that quick 2-minute video, he said, "And we expect that of you twice." And they said he would say that to you, and it would go to most people in one ear and out the other. But he wasn't joking. That is what he expected. Right? So he expected you to play from a 75 to an 85, and he expected, when he said they were going to win national championship, that they were going to win. He just didn't beat you up over it. He just soft-sold it to you. And they said he would do that all the time. He would just sort of drop something in your ear to see, did you really get what he just said? His expectations were real, serious expectations. So what are the little things that he's talking about? I wrote some of these things down that maybe become the biggest thing, because the biggest problem I'm having with this new book is, number one, this publisher won't let me quit, which is halfway I like it, halfway I hate them for it. But and the reason they won't is because they still think the book misses the roadmap. Right? The book's called I Need More Money. And they're like, no shit, we get it. The roadmap is weak. You're not taking a guy that has no money, who knows that he has no money, and giving him a roadmap to help him make more money. Right? And until you get that down, Monero, we don't publish this book. So the third, they just keep fighting me on. All right? So this dovetails to what makes a better roadmap potentially. All right? So here are the little things that I wrote down. Number one, Sunday preparation. You have to prepare for Monday. You cannot prepare for Monday on Monday. You prepare for Monday on Sunday. And really, the smart guys prepare the entire week on Sunday. Okay? So that's an important question. I'm sure we could go around the room. We won't, but we could go around the room and say how many people did Sunday preparation. Our successful guys will go like this. I thought about it a lot. I was actually excited to get back to work. And our unsuccessful guys would be like, yeah, I'm still working on that. You know, 2 more cups of coffee and I'll be ready. Daily skilling up. Who are you listening to? What are you reading? What are you talking about? Who are you hanging out with? Fill the calendar, no white space. One of the requirements I'm going to have from Donnie is everybody has a calendar function, right? Not the Golden Gate, but a real like Google Calendar. So all you have to do is just turn it on and see what does the calendar look like. Is there a lot of white space on that guy's calendar? If there is, I guarantee he's one of our lower producing guys. No white space on the calendar, fill it up. Give something away each day. Get accustomed to giving something away for free. Whether it's in business or in personal, give something away for free. 10 tips booklet, an article that you saw, a video that you liked, that you shared. Give something away for free. Come in earlier, stay later. Know where you rank. I think that's an important, so you can then develop I want to win attitude. You got to want to win. You got to be sick and tired of being at the bottom of the list, y'all. I mean, that's an important factor to winning. You just got to be pissed that you're at the bottom. And then the one I put down here is smile more. They talk about this in the Bear Bryant thing, that he loved the guy who could take all the punishment, and he said there would be a couple different guys on the field at the end of that 2 a day. There'd be 20 guys that were just commiserating in how awful it was, can't wait to quit. You'd have a couple guys that literally were being carried off on stretchers, and then they said there'd be just 1 or 2 guys who'd be laying on the field, just helmets off, sort of smiling, like, I got through it another day. There wouldn't be a chance in hell that they would quit, right? They just were happy that they got through. So the last one is smile a little bit more. Enjoy the process. Don't beat yourself up as you go through the process. The process is hard enough, y'all. Don't beat yourself up through it. Smile a little bit more. Anybody else with any other little thing that they may do on a daily or weekly basis that helps them be successful?
Don't let little agitations rule you.
I think it's
You know,
important.
I think we all have problems that are going to come up in what we do, so I try not to get that down on me. So.
I think it's a great one. Barbara Corcoran, we showed the video. The key to success for people in her eyes is how long do they stay down? How long do the little things bother them? Okay, y'all, let's keep pushing. Let's go.